This has got to be the weirdest LEGO Star Wars Summer 2025 set in the Force Burner Snowspeeder. It's based on Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past, and it's set number 75414 with 349 pieces for $55. That price, by the way, is as insane as it sounds. My first Snowspeeder when I was a kid was this one. It was $20. That's $35 adjusted for inflation. So this one is $20 more than that, and it doesn't look like $20 more of stuff. That new Snowspeeder cockpit piece is pretty cool, though. I'll give it that. Now, the box art for this one, of course, based on Rebuild the Galaxy, has that nice vibe to it with the colorful stripes. The back of the box highlights some of the features on the Snowspeeder, including one where you can drop a speeder out of the Snowspeeder. It's insane. But anyway, cutting into and unboxing this one, you've got your normal LEGO instruction manual. You've got a rather large feeling sticker sheet, as well as bags numbered 1 through 4. Let's get into those minifigs. First, we have Sig Griebling, and the most interesting thing about him has got to be his orange lightsaber. It looks amazing in orange. We've never had an orange LEGO Star Wars lightsaber before. The figure itself is substantially different than what we saw last summer as well, sporting a couple of different face prints. I do really like the frowny face print. He's still got that same green scarf though, and then kind of more Jedi robes as far as the look of the rest of the character goes. But yeah, overall great looking minifig, and one that I'm happy to have from Rebuild the Galaxy here. Darth Dev is another returning character, and compared to last summer's version, this one loses the cape and has a pretty major overhaul for the design. He more so reminds me of Battle Damage Vader from the 2008 LEGO Star Wars Rogue Shadow set than anything else. It's pretty cool to see like this. You've got one arm that's all skin, and then the other arm has this incredible print. His back is also phenomenally detailed. Overall great figure, and I just love the Battle Damage Vader vibes. Finally, we have Solitus, who is a Doros, which is the same species as Cad Bane, so you'll definitely see some similarities in the face print there. He's dual wielding purple lightsabers using a gunmetal gray hilt and a chain in the middle, which is just an insane combo. He's got good looking torso, leg, and hip detail, and his back, yeah, not a lot of detail on the back, but it is going to be covered up by the cape anyway. Also notable, he does not have a second face print, so I thought that was interesting. I don't know why. Even though I have no connection to these characters because I've never watched and probably never will watch Rebuild the Galaxy, these are some killer figures. They've got lots of detail, some fun accessories, and yeah, if you're into Rebuild the Galaxy, I'm sure these are nice. Getting into our builds, our first one is the third different STAP design of the year, fourth in 2 years, and this one's mixed up for the best reason in that it actually needs to accommodate a minifig instead of a battle droid, so I'll show you that in a second. I would say it is a bit of a beefier looking STAP than we have been seeing. It definitely has some beefed up engine intakes. It's got a little bit of a larger area where the feet would go or whatever, as well as this black bar at the bottom, and then you've got the regular kind of lightsaber blasters on the front of it. The top of it is also kind of reinforced using a hinge piece, so you can actually flip it up if you want like that, which I think is pretty cool to be able to do. I don't know if that's accurate or not to what a STAP can actually do, but as like maybe an added play function, it certainly feels cool. But yeah, that's how you want it to be if you just want the standard look. And then finally at the bottom, you've got the large transparent piece to keep it stable when placed on the ground so it doesn't just fall over when you hit it or something. Now the minifig is very easy to attach, and they've built it pretty strongly so that when you go to take the minifig off, it doesn't always just crumple to pieces. So it's pretty nice for such a small build to be so sturdy. Overall, with the figure on there, it looks really cool. Just a very different vibe to not have a battle droid on a STAP for once. Our other little side build is this really fire looking speeder bike. Get it? Fire looking. It's got the orange, yellow, and red on the side of it, as well as like the triangular stickers on the front with the flames. Those look insane. What a cool take on a speeder bike to make it feel so fresh and new. It is a bit squared off on the backside, so it's maybe not the cleanest looking speeder bike we've ever seen as far as the aerodynamics, but there's a good reason for that, of course. Gotta love the gunmetal lightsaber hilts for like the engine design and the exhaust coming out of the back or whatever, the flames coming out of the back. Too bad they couldn't actually put a flame piece on the back. That would have been insane looking. All right, fine, I'll do it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that is definitely going to be way cooler looking than just the orange stud on the back. Back to normal though, you can take Darth Dev, sit him in the seat, and then he can actually grab onto the handlebars once again, and that's what it looks like with a minifig on there. Really awesome looking. I love the speeder design except for the kind of blocky backside. Now we've still got his lightsaber left over, and this clip could theoretically be good for holding the lightsaber if you really wanted it to be, but that's not what it's actually going to be for. I mean, you saw it on the back of the box, but yeah, we're going there. So there's this yellow bar inside of the Snowspeeder, and that is exactly where you will be able to clip in your speeder bike. It's a really simple process. You just have to set down your speeder bike, bring the Snowspeeder over the top, and drop it over. So you push down, it'll clip right in just like that. I don't know if you could hear it, but it makes a noise. Alternatively, you can do this without placing the speeder bike on a flat surface. You just push it up and into the Snowspeeder until it clips in like that. So kind of either way works. Both work pretty flawlessly. It's got to be one of the most genius, unique, and fun play features on a LEGO Star Wars set of all time. Like, having your co-pilot get slotted in with a removable speeder is an insane idea. You can see it kind of poking out the bottom of the back there. It doesn't make the bottom of the Snowspeeder this perfect design or anything. Like, there's still giant gaps and stuff, but that's not an issue to me. Obviously, this is meant to be something a bit different than a very serious Snowspeeder, so I think it works really well there, and it also like perfectly creates a flat bottom to the Snowspeeder. And whether this is in there or not, you'd think there'd be a lot less, I don't know, for lack of a better term, landing gear, or basically touch points to the ground, but you actually have the wings touching the ground and these 2 points at the bottom, so it's still plenty stable, and it doesn't like wobble really far back just because the backside is missing. With Darth Dev in there, he can operate the stud shooter at the back. It's on a ball joint, so it's got an incredible range of movement, of course, and there's nothing. Usually on the back of Snowspeeders, they'd have the tow cable a little higher up, and so you actually wouldn't be able to point it down a lot of the time, or the stud shooter, whatever is on the back, but like you wouldn't be able to point it down. But this one you can literally point in just about any direction. Great range of movement. Big highlight there to me as far as playability goes. The backside of this thing outside of the stud shooter is really sleek looking to me. Really a nice design. And again, you got those orange studs, which I think these ones, because obviously with your little speeder bike that's on the underside, you couldn't do the flames because they literally wouldn't fit. But I really don't know how they missed the opportunity to put some flames on the back of this Snowspeeder. I think this would have taken it up a notch. The entire flow of this thing leading back feels like it's leading towards some flames shooting out the back of the engines, and then it's just like some lame orange studs. Like, it looks fine with the orange studs, but you can't tell me the flames don't bring it up. Like, this is crazy cool looking with flames. Got to keep it as it came though, so we'll put those studs back on. It looks okay, but yeah, the flames are better. The wing design and color is super clean. You got a nice mix of red, orange, yellow, and black, a little bit of gray as well. Like, it just looks so good to me. And you've got these large fins on top with the flames. It is a sticker on both sides of the fin there. Really nice looking sticker though, I will say. And this design is kind of stolen from the Sandspeeder. So they took a little design element from that and brought it over to here, which is really cool. We'll see another thing that was stolen in a little bit, or inspired by is probably a better way to frame it. But yeah, it's really cool to see that aspect of the Sandspeeder brought onto this flaming Snowspeeder. The engine design looks really sharp to me with some more translucent orange mixed in. You've also got the flaps that you can lift up to allow the Snowspeeder to change direction. And if you look really close under there, there's even more translucent orange. It's just really hard to see, but that slight accent is there, which is dope. Pulling those off, you can see even better. Some more translucent orange. That's why should have been a flame at the back. It all leads to that. Further up, we've got another sticker, and I gotta say, they've done a great job filling the gaps between the wing and the body using a lot of the ingot pieces and these like 1x2 plates with that little extension that they usually use for like railings or whatever to like guide pieces. But it works super well to kind of fill the gaps, especially when looking top down. Very minimal gap on this Snowspeeder. And then at the very front here is we're going to see a couple more elements that were kind of inspired by the 1999 LEGO Star Wars Snowspeeder, the original. It's pretty easy to see here. The cannons are the exact same piece, except the color is the updated dark bluish gray that they changed out in the early 2000s. And then on the very front, you've got the Snowspeeder hood detail. And while on the original it was a print and is now a sticker, I think they've clearly gone to copy the design as close to one-to-one, except changing out the solid orange stripe to a flaming orange stripe in the middle. And that brings me to the brand new Snowspeeder windscreen cockpit piece. What an insane piece that LEGO has introduced here. And it's kind of crazy that they're introducing it with not a normal Snowspeeder. Obviously the Force Burner Snowspeeder with all the flames and odd colors. Like, the next version we get of this will be just perfectly translucent or slightly tinted instead of yellow and black. Maybe it'll be gray, I suppose, or white. I can't remember what color it's supposed to be. So it's kind of cool that we have one opportunity perhaps to get a unique color scheme of this piece, because otherwise where would it come other than a Snowspeeder? So pretty dope to see in the black and yellow color scheme. Obviously perfectly matches what we've got going on with the rest of the Force Burner Snowspeeder, and it's a crazy good piece. This is probably one of the best custom molded windscreen pieces that we will ever see from LEGO Star Wars. It is so insanely good. This is the 2006 version of the cockpit build. Obviously not the most recent version that we've seen, but it's still fairly similar to what we saw all the way up until 2019. But you can tell this is an insane upgrade from what they used to be able to do. The shape is also a little bit taller, so that's something that I think makes it look a little bit better. It feels skinnier, even though it's not, probably just because it's skinnier at the top, I suppose, so that's why it feels skinnier. That makes sense. I was going to say the width is definitely the same. It's 4 bricks wide, but it's definitely definitely skinnier at the top, so that is also a huge change to the look and design of the cockpit for Snowspeeders. And then looking at the inside of it, like, this thing's just super clean. It's fairly seamless. Like, looking at it from the side here, you can definitely see the seam a little bit, but this is like one of the cleanest looking Lego pieces that I've ever seen. And if it weren't for this and those two studs on there, I would assume it's not Lego. Like, it's that good of a piece. So that is our new Snowspeeder cockpit windscreen piece. Kind of been a long time coming because they hadn't made a Snowspeeder in quite a while at this point, and it was worth the wait. Maybe not worth the $55 that they want for this, but it's good. Now, to gain access to the interior, it's super easy to lift away. You can lift it all the way up like that. Looks rather nice. Gives you plenty of access to that interior. And I feel like this has to be intentional because otherwise it's such an odd design, but it feels like the control panel setup for this Snowspeeder is very much inspired by what we saw in 1999. Like, why else would they have those two panels on the side exactly like that? I mean, one of the panels is literally the same print, just on a different color, basically, than we saw in 1999. So I feel like that's definitely inspired by 1999, but cool interior nonetheless with 3 control panels that are all printed. So we've got 4 studs at the bottom that Sig Griebling is actually going to connect to, and usually they do the half tile, half stud design so the legs wouldn't get stuck at the bottom of something like this where it's hard to like dig them out. But for whatever reason, his legs are not getting stuck for me. Like, let me try to like really push him down. We'll even use the lightsaber to make sure we're really pushing those legs down. And for some reason, they just pop right out just fine every time. At least in my experience, I've probably tested it about a dozen times and it's worked just fine. So the legs don't seem to get stuck down there, which would be a worry of mine usually. But I love that his arms fit so nicely inside of there. It actually looks like he's using the control panels, which is sick. And then if we close this up, that is what it looks like with your 2 pilots inside. Really clean, plenty of headroom in there. So even if it had like a Rebel pilot helmet, you wouldn't have to worry about anything hitting the top. There is one more feature on the bottom of this Snowspeeder. You've got these clips. Obviously, the little speeder bike couldn't accommodate any of the lightsabers, but the actual Snowspeeder is going to be able to hold both the red and orange lightsaber, which ironically does fit the color scheme of the actual Snowspeeder, so that's pretty cool. As far as swooshability goes, it's a very playable Snowspeeder. You can hold it in this very normal way, although it feels a little bit awkward because of what you have on the bottom here, but you can hold it just normally like that. You can also grab it by the wings and it's fine. These things aren't going to be going anywhere. It is a very, very well-built set. Another top-down view, so you can see just no gaps or anything. It's pretty incredible how nice and clean this is. And I just love that this one pays homage to a couple of older LEGO Star Wars sets while also giving us a taste of the future with that new windscreen piece. Like, it's a really unique build in that way too. The Force Burner Snowspeeder is definitely not worth $55, but I feel like I was a flaming Hoth dish turret away from saying, screw it, this is the best set of the summer. Like, they already had references to other Snowspeeder sets. I really just wish that Hoth dish turret was here in a flaming version. Put me on the Rebuild the Galaxy creative team. But no, seriously, this is a really creative set, really fun, great new windscreen piece for Snowspeeders that we're going to see going forward probably forever, because why would you ever change from this perfect piece? I think this one's a fair value at around $40. If you're looking to buy it, I would wait until it gets around there. But yeah, it's a really cool playset. If it was purchased for a kid that doesn't have any concept of money, they're going to really, really enjoy this. So $55 may be overpriced, but dang, this is a fun little playset. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, and you can check out more LEGO Star Wars Summer 2025 set reviews on the end screen now.